All right, this is the best news Andrew Yang has ever heard. The guy who's an asterisk running for president of the United States just got the backing of Elon Musk as an ideal presidential candidate. Access reporter Steph Kite on what Steph thinks of all of that. That came out of the blue. I don't know whether it moves the needle, but what do you think, Steph?
Yeah, it's certainly interesting to hear Elon Musk come out so early already and say that he supports Andrew Yang, who, according to the polls, hasn't been necessarily one of the top contenders so far. But what's really interesting about Andrew Yang, and something that Axios has reported on a lot, is that he really does have a following, and the people who do follow him passionately. And so he certainly has a base of people, which now includes Elon Musk, who really support some of his more progressive ideas and his willingness to kind of change his mind and find solutions to problems.
I think Sammy was the first out the gate with this, give every American $500 or $1,000, that others quickly followed, right?
Well, it just seems as if it's playing leapfrog in terms of the Democratic contenders, that if one makes a suggestion that isn't at least pushed back at them, then they tend to embrace that as well, because they want to differentiate themselves on other things but not create a wedge to be compared versus the other candidates.
This whole universal basic income thing gets kind of scoffed at and thrown out by a lot of people when it comes up, but not in the community that looks at artificial intelligence. And that's what Elon Musk kind of lives in that world. So people who think about that and talk about it and say the robots are coming to take over, and they are to some extent, but that have the most aggressive predictions out there about how many jobs are really at risk. Those are the people that have actually had those conversations already about, hey, listen, what else can we do? But we have to give people a stipend, or we have to give people money. So in the general population where people haven't really thought about it yet, that's just like, that's stupid, that'll never work. But in that community, that's why I think it kind of makes sense that, I don't know if it matters, but why it makes sense that Elon Musk has this endorsement, because in his world, that idea is something they've been thinking about for a long time.
And wasn't his premise, Steph, that, and others who espouse this, that it lessens the likelihood you'll need indirect help from the government? It goes directly to you, you use it as you wish. It lessens the load on Uncle Sam.
Exactly. That's the idea behind it. And it really is, it becomes more relevant as we go into this age of automation and as AI becomes more part of our day-to-day lives, and as jobs that we would typically see as jobs for middle-income America start disappearing, and as automation takes over those jobs, the idea is that everyone needs to have some kind of a universal basic income. And as you said, by putting a program in place like Andrew Yang has suggested, that may actually help the government not have to help Americans out who aren't able to have jobs or who are in poverty. And again, these are just the ideas that are coming out now as we move into this new era of automation and technology.
You buy it, right?
Look, stylistically, this is not a surprise to me. It's not a surprise to me that Elon Musk chooses the one guy on the stage who can't wear a tie, and he's from Silicon Valley. But importantly, even though I might not agree with him, he's a disruptor.
Gasparino's like that here.
He's not on a Democratic debate stage. You got to wear a tie. You got to wear a tie.